If Valentine's Day / Galentine's Day is your Super Bowl, or even if the actual Super Bowl is your Super Bowl, I'm gonna need you to save this coffee caramel chocolate tart to make it on those days. I try to challenge my taste profiles as much as I can as someone who makes recipes, but I always come crawling back to chocolate and caramel. But for this recipe, we're pumping up the jam with coffee, in the crust, in the salted caramel, in the ganache, and I will explain more in a second. Another thing I'm trying to challenge myself to do in 2024 is date. So let's just let this be an advertisement that if you date me, you get this. I should have let the dough chill longer because it was falling apart, so I had to put it back in the fridge. And I actually think I put it back in the freezer because then it got way too hard and it was nearly impossible to fit into the tin. So I don't know, don't be like me, just put it in the fridge, be patient. Trimming off excess dough like this is one of the best parts about my job. I baked it for a while with pie weights in it. I use a mixture of these ceramic beads and dry beans, and then halfway through baking I take those out, dock some holes in the crust, and put it back in the oven. Okay, so back to the coffee. It comes in the form of espresso powder in the tart dough and heavy cream steeped with crushed coffee beans, plus half a vanilla bean with the seed scraped out if you want. Then some of the cream gets added to the caramel and the rest gets added to the ganache. This caramel starts off with just some water, sugar, and corn syrup, and then you literally just have to cook it until it's deep amber and you're starting to see wisps of smoke. Please make sure you have the butter and the heavy cream around and ready to go. That way you can put it right in and it doesn't overheat and burn. But then you really do need a candy thermometer or a digital thermometer because you need to put it back on the stove and cook it until it's at 240 degrees Fahrenheit. By the way, here's a great trick to unmold tarts from their pans. Okay, now let's talk about the ganache. Using high quality chocolate is really important. Do not use chocolate chips. This is the good stuff. By the way, I eyeballed 4 ounces here perfectly, just saying. Also, chopping the chocolate really, really finely will mean that there's less stirring involved when you pour the heavy cream in and you mix the two together. And that'll lead to a really smooth ganache that doesn't break. My DMs are open.